some more people messaged saying that they are sick or about to get sick. So today also, stay in your rooms, okay? Don't spread the love. All right? Yeah. So, if you are even slightly sick, wear a mask. That will help you and others also. That is one thing. And then Swamiji will be back tomorrow, by tomorrow afternoon, evening, something like that. I will be away for a few days. So there, I think you have seen the, what's its name? Schedule. Yeah, so there will be 2 Kathopanishad classes. And then you will also be watching a synopsis of the Mandukya Upanishad in 3 talks, little longish talks, and these were given during a recent trip to Atlanta, and so it is a very important Upanishad, but it is usually taught at the end, at the very end of the course. So, just the summary, Mandukya Upanishad has Karika, 4 chapters. 4 chapters, each one metaphorically for what? Jagrad Avastha, Swapna Avastha, and then Sushupti Avastha, 3 states and all these things. And then it's voluminous. It's like 4 volumes of Karika written by the Grand Guru of Adi Shankara. So, needless to say, we are not going to go into the Karika. We are just going to go to the Moola. Moola means the original Grantha. Usually the Grantha, the Upanishad is studied along with the Karika because it is pre-Shankara, the Karika. And very beautifully written also, no nonsense commentary on the Upanishad, on the Mandukya Upanishad. And so this is something you will be watching, okay? And we will be watching you watching it, meaning what did I do with my glasses?
Here, against behind the clock.
Behind the clock. Okay. So, we will be watching you watching this, all right? In other words, attendance will be taken. So, come and sit and listen, all right. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमव्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्त्विमे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी। In the middle of the Bhashya. It was said that the knowledge removes all karma. How does the knowledge remove all karma? We saw a quote from the Mundakopanishad in our last class, and here Adi Shankara has another take on how the knowledge removes all karma, because he is going to refer to the Bhagavad Gita itself, one quotation, and the other quotation is from the Chandogya Upanishad 4th chapter. Very beautiful quotations, both of them, and we will be seeing that. So let us read the Bhashya up till there. Katham means how does it remove? Yataha, because, yasmat karanat, this is the reason. Sarvam karma samastam akhilam. Akhilam means apratibaddham, means without any shesha. He Partha, O dear Arjuna, Kunti Putra, Jnane, Moksha Sadhane. When you take to a life of knowledge, which is the one and only sadhanam for what? Moksha. Moksha sadhane jnane. Then what happens? Sarvatah samplutodakasthaniye parisamapyate. Parisamapyate culminates, ends. So there is an end to karma. And what is the end to karma? Sarvatas samplutodakasthaniye jnane moksha sadhane praviliyate. So what is this sarvatas samplutodakasthaniye? We have to refer to 46, 47 of the second chapter. Yavan artha udapane sarvatas samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. Vijanatah brahmanasya, for the person who knows what? Brahman. Brahmani charitum sheelam asya asti iti brahmanah. The one who has the capacity, the kshamata to pursue Brahman. And so this Brahmana, the one who is wise or who is a jnani or soon to become wise, but here the wise person is talked about. So asya brahmanasya, what kind of Brahmana? Because Brahmana could also mean brahmachari, who is on the way. Vijanatah brahmana, that clinches it. The one who knows, the knowing Brahmana, for the knowing Brahmana, what happens? Yavan artha udapane. Udapana means some water hole, well, etc. Let's say in your backyard you have one kupa. What is kupa? Well. So you have a well, and then you say, oh, this well my great grandfather's family dug. This is my well. And then you are happily taking out groundwater, drinking it, full of minerals, nice water, wonderful. And then you are very attached to your well. Anybody comes, you say, shoo, my well, my well. And then even if animals come, you say, well, go away. This is not for you. This is for me. Then what happens to the village? Flash flood. Not only your well, but all the wells in the whole village is become one big well. Okay? All the wells are covered up. There is no well, there is no yard, there is nothing. It's just water everywhere. Now, are you going to take a GPS and then look for the spot of your well and drink the water only there? How meaningless is that? Very silly. So, this example, yavan artha, yavan means until which time your well has a significance, until which time? Sarvataha samplutodake, meaning until the time that the well has sunk into the flood along with all the other wells. No more single well, no more your well, no more shoo to everybody who comes to drink water from your well. There is no your there, there is no mine there, nothing. It's just all water everywhere. And so then what do you say? Okay, it's all one big well. So the question of my and me and yours, that distinction is meaningless. Just like that, that is the example, drishtanta. What is the darshtanta? Darshtanta means that which is exemplified. So what is exemplified by this? Tavan, until that time, sarveshu vedeshu, all the Vedas, the first portion of the Vedas, have significance for whom? Vijanataha brahmanasya. For this brahmana who knows, for the person who is pursuing Brahman, who is a wise person, all the three Vedas, the first Karma Kanda, all the four Vedas, we can say all the four Vedas and the rituals, the disciplines and the upasanas, because the first portion of the Vedas is further divided into three portions. What are they? Samhita, where the mantra ucharana is taking place. Brahmana, how to do the rituals, the ritual portion. And then Aranyaka, Upasana, meditation portion. So all of them are about as much use to this person as a personal well for a person who has flash flood in the whole village, meaning no use at all. Why? Because your well has gone where? Under. Your well has gone under. And similarly, the three Vedas, which are what? Kriya, Karaka, Phala, Yuktaha. The three Vedas, the Karma Kanda of all the three Vedas, which are full of doer. You are the one doer, which are full of Kama. Swarga Kamaha, Somena, Yajeta, Mevan, Agnihotram, Juhuyat. These are all Vidhi Vakyas. Full of Vidhi Nisheda Para Vakyas. What is Nisheda Para means committed to. Vidhi Para Vakya means do this, or else. There will be always an or else. It's not like, would you like to do Agnihotra today? That is not the Veda. No, I don't want to do. Okay. No, that's not the Veda. Vidhi means do it. Or else, this will happen. We see this. If you don't do Atithi Yajna, one of the 5 Mahayajnas, you saw what all would have happened to Lord Yama. And very, he scrambled to his feet. And very, very narrowly missed losing everything. So you lose everything just by telling the guest, please go. And that too a guest you yourself have invited with your mobile phone. I don't feel like seeing you now, go. Even that one, forget the one who drops in uninvited. That is the real guest. And so, the consequences are huge, and the consequences are Veda wagging her finger at you. Do this or else. This is vidhi para vakyas, and then there are nishedha para vakyas, vakyas committed to taboos and prohibitions. So injunction based vakyas which positively tell you what to do, and then prohibition based vakya which negatively tell you what, do not do this, and after that or else is again there. Or else is there. Barhishi rajatam nadeyam, don't give what? Silver. So rajat, don't give rajat, and then what will happen? You will cry for a whole year. Why? Because Agni cried tears of molten silver. That is the teardrops of Lord Agni. So like this, the whole Veda, the first portion of the Veda, all three portions within that first portion, which is the mantra ucharana and the how to of the rituals, kalpa shastra, and how to offer, etc., and the actual offering and the what is that, the vidhi of the rituals and the upasanas, they all are filled with vidhi paravakyas to what? To upkeep you as the desirer, as the first as the knower of what? That I am lacking. That is the knowledge. It's not that I am Brahman is the knowledge. What is the knowledge at first? I am lacking. I feel lackluster. That's why. And so therefore what? It upholds, it sees this as the truth. Why does the Shruti sees it as the truth? Because you see it as the truth. And if you were told, all this is a big delusion, you need to have vairagya, and then you will gain this knowledge. Now what will happen to you if you are not ready and you are told this? You will have vairagya, all right, but for the knowledge. That's what you will have. Not from samsara, but you will have vairagya for what? The knowledge itself. You say, I don't want a knowledge that doesn't acknowledge that I am a desiring person. I am suffering here. My desires are not getting fulfilled. Why? Because I am still a bala. Bala means childish. I am not grown up yet. I am not emotionally mature to see that these vidhi paravakyas are okay for those who have a sense of lack. Why? Because I too have a sense of lack. And because of this sense of lack, I suffer. Finally somebody is listening to me. Finally somebody is addressing me. Who? Jnata. First is pramata. I know I am lacking. This is pramata. Not I know I am Brahman. There is no pramatritvam. There is no pramata. But here the pramata says, I know I lack. There is a big Grand Canyon shaped hole in my heart. And so Shruti says, yes, I see that hole, yes. I have upayas to fill it. Because the Shruti knows, if Shruti doesn't give upaya, if the scriptures don't give the remedial measures, what will happen to this person? They will die of hopelessness, they will die of a broken heart, or they will go the wrong ways. If the dharma is not clear, they will find wrong ways to fulfill those useless, needless, but urgent desires. By trampling upon the sentiments of other people, by not seeing the truth of whatever it was. And so therefore, the Shruti immediately intervenes and says, let's play a game. Yes, let's play a game. Yes, I see that you are hurting. You are a jnata. Yes, I uphold that. You are a pramata. Of your own lack, you are a pramata. You are a knower of your own lack. Okay. And then I will fix this lack. How? Because I'll put you on a diet of prayer. For breakfast, yajna. For lunch? For dinner? What about the snacks in between? Yajna. Whole day, whole life diet of yajna. And what is the Shruti doing? Like a mother slowly growing the jiva up. Slowly, without even the jiva knowing, I am growing up. It's like the child who says to the mother, I want to be useful. I want to help you cook. And the child cannot even say cook. That is that small 2-year-old toddler child. And so the mother will give it a safe but very boring and difficult activity. Yes, stir this, sit and stir this. And then the child will go like this. What should I? That's done, mom. What shall I do now? Do more. It has to be done a lot more. How many times? 50. Child doesn't even know 50. Can't even count up to 10. And then after 3 or 4 times, it stops bothering the mother, and it'll instead go and entertain itself or go to sleep. The Shruti is also not like one functional loving mother. We have to say that because it's Kali Yuga. And so she is like a Sahasra Matravat, like 1,000 functional loving mothers. Imagine that love. And so, without you knowing it, she is growing you up. She is helping you become emotionally mature by doing the same thing all the time. And then making you pray, making you become dharmic, making you do all these things. And then as a result of that, what happens? Then suddenly you say, why am I doing all these things? What am I getting out of this? Is there something here for me? You yourself start talking these questions, and the Shruti whips out Kathopanishad and says, here, maybe this will interest you. Very interesting story between Yama, Nachiketa, and it will lead to some other interesting places. Would you like this? And you say, yeah, might as well. And then you get interested in that. So the Shruti has a plan. So the Shruti has a plan to get you to that place of disowning that well, by showing you that in fact the water is there in plenty, and in fact you are plenty. If Vedanta had to be summed up in one sentence, it would be, you are enough. That is Vedanta. I am enough. It's a very important affirmation. I am enough. I don't need anything to make me enough. I am enough. And so the Shruti has a plan, and so it forces you, in the wake of all this preparation and the knowledge, it forces you to disown that well to which you are attached. And maybe it doesn't even have, what is that? Sweet water, because it was dug long time ago, and desilting has not been done. It has ksharam jalam, salty water. Yeah. Yasyasti sarvatra gatihi sakasmat swadeshasya ragena yati nasham. The one who is all pervasive. I mean, the one sarvatra gatihi, the one in the empirical sense, the one who is everywhere. For one who has sarvatma bhava, or the one who goes everywhere. That person, kasmat yati nasham, how will that person get destroyed? How, swadeshasya ragena, by the love for something called one's own, here one's own country. So somebody who is a globe-trotter will not say, oh, this is my country, because every place they are learned to become at home. Maybe they have, what is that called? Dual citizenship. So they are in 2 countries, or they are going everywhere. So they don't have a particular love that I have to be in this country because this is my country. And then here we can take it like sarvatma bhava. Yasyasti sarvatra gatihi, the one who understands that I am all pervasive. Sarvam atma eva, that iti bhavaha, sarvatma bhavaha, that everything is atma alone. This understanding, the one who has sarvatma bhava. So kasmat yati nasham, how can that person ever be destroyed? So who is the person that is destroyed? This sukta tells. What is the next line? Tatasya kupaha ayam iti bruvana. So the one who says, this is my great-grandfather's well, grandfather's well, father's well, this is mine, I have inherited this well. Ksharam jalam ka purushaha pibanti. Only the cowardly people drink silted water, salty water, saying this belongs to me, this is mine. They are cowards. They don't know what they are like the frog in the well. To continue with the well example. The well frog says, this is the whole world, the whole jagat is this many whatever, this is the circumferences, this is the area, this many inches, this many feet is the whole world. Only when it jumps outside, it understands what it has been missing. So similarly, the one that is given to the three Vedas and what all they have to offer, it's just like being attached to a well, even though it is giving silted water, salty water, bitter, brackish water, bracken water. So why? Because it is mine. It is, I have inherited it from my ancestors, the person says. Who is such a person? Coward. Why is it a coward? Because the whole world is there and they are afraid to go and see what is even the possibility. And this is the Drishtanta. The Darshtanta is also the same thing. The whole limitless truth of the self is being offered on a platter by the Shruti, and then what does the person do? The person is afraid. The person is afraid to set forth because of the loss of something called mine. And so, similarly here, how does the karma kshaya completely takes place in the wake of knowledge? Because you don't own it up as my karma. There is no my karma. No my karma at all. Karma, yes, that is mine. But karma, no karma. There is no karma that is mine. Because what? I am no longer karta, no longer bhokta. Karta is a place, is a locus that traps. Bhokta is a place, a locus, a mental formation that traps. So kartritva, bhoktritva, buddhi, rahitam. This person wanders freely. So coming out of those traps, then there is nothing that is yours. And if there is nothing that is yours, what is yours? Everything is yours. But first you have to get to the place, nothing is mine. Then you wait and see, all the things start to come. Whether you want it or not, it comes. Yes. Like orange shawls for a Swami in Rishikesh. Yeah, they keep coming and coming and coming. So this is what the teaching is. Very beautiful example, very appropriate. When Adi Shankara gives an example, you have to sit up, because it is so appropriate and so fitting this situation where the nullification and the obliteration of karma is talked about. The obliteration of karma is like obliterating a well that you have inherited from your ancestors in the wake of a flood. Very beautiful. So you obliterate the karma by seeing the water everywhere it's everywhere. So too the wholeness, the limitlessness which is you, which is Brahman, is everywhere. So what is the sense in saying this is my prarabdha? Let me please have my prarabdha. Let me catch hold of my sanchita karma. You can't have it. Is anybody wanting your sanchita karma first of all? No, because they have their own. Thank you very much. So here, this is how in the wake of this knowledge, just like the whole village filling up with water and deeming a particular well completely useless, rendering that well along with the ownership of the well totally useless. Similarly, the four Vedas and all the three portions of the four Vedas are of no use for the man or woman of knowledge, because she or he is not interested in those fruits, is not interested in branding themselves as the doer. They have gone beyond that. This is the idea. Another example will also be given. Yatha kritaya vijitaya adhareyaha samyanti evam enam sarvam tad abhi sameti yat kincha prajaha sadhu kurvanti yastad veda yat saveda. So now this is an example from the story of Raikva. Raikva was a jnani in the Chandogya Upanishad. And then Raikva was was not a jnani that you can think of. On purpose, he has been portrayed in the Upanishad as a somebody having skin disease all over the body. So many sores, skin disease, full of scabs and sores and everything, that even when he was talking to somebody, he would be busy plucking and picking and scratching, and everything was bleeding, some psoriasis or something all over the body. Poor fellow. But very cheerful and everything. And he was not teaching, he was happy in himself. He was not seen anywhere, because he lived in the middle of a forest underneath an abandoned chariot. That was his ashram, his kutiya. Underneath an abandoned chariot, that was his ashram, that was his kutiya. And then the king of that time, of that region, his name was Janashruti. So Janashruti suddenly woke up and said, I want to have knowledge of Brahman. Kings have all these whimsical ideas. Yeah, because they can. So, it's like waking up and saying, I think I'll have pancakes today. Out of the blue, where did this come from? Somewhere in the head it must have been. It came there, I want pancakes. And then you head to Tapovan. And so like this, unless you can bribe Gayatri to make it, I don't know. So, I want pancakes today, I can't handle anything other than pancakes. Just like that, some whimsy comes. The whimsy came inside the head of this king. What was his name? Janashruti. And so this Janashruti woke up one day and said, Brahmavidya, me wants Brahmavidya for breakfast. And then all the ministers and the paricharakas, the servants, wondered what has gotten into him. Every day he is hunting and doing all other kingly, royal things. Suddenly Brahmavidya, they didn't even know the meaning of Brahmavidya, poor things. And then they called some of the other ministers and the people in the palace. They said, oh, this is a very important knowledge. He says, I want the best teacher. Go bring him. What is this? It's not pancake, Swiggy, home delivery. This is not like this. But king, I have what is that called? Entitlement. A sense of entitlement, east or west, I am the best. And of course, the best teacher will come to me. What does the teacher want? Money. I have a kosha. Kosha means don't think pancha kosha, okay? Yeah. Kosha here means treasury. Yeah. I have a big treasury. I can give. Whatever the fellow asks, I can give. So let me I would like to hire a teacher of Brahma Vidya. So then the poor harried ministers, without delay, went all over the kingdom saying, and because he said, don't bring the second best. What do you need to bring to me? The best. So they went and asked, are you the best teacher of Brahma Vidya? Any sage, any sadhu? And of course, it was during a time where people told the truth, sadhu or otherwise. They didn't say, nobody self-appointed themselves and said, I am the best, yes, I'll come along with you. No, nobody did that. Everybody said, what Raikva knows, nobody knows, east or west, Raikva is the best. And unanimously Raikva got this epithet of being the best. So then where is this Raikva? They said he will be somewhere. Nobody is sure where he is. Once in a while he makes an appearance, that's all we know. And they searched high, searched low, everything. They could not find Raikva. And then they were also told by the other people, whether they were jnanis or sannyasis in the forest, they were told Raikva is not going to come to the king. King will have to go to him. Raikva is not that kind of a teacher. He teaches all right, but he is not that kind of a teacher that the king he will come to the king. He is not at the behest of a king. No teacher of Brahma Vidya is in the employ of somebody who is rich. Cannot be. How can the knowledge take place like that? Because this is not something which is what is that? You can't hire the teacher. You can fire the teacher, that is possible, but you can't, you can't hire the teacher. You can't even fire because you haven't hired. That's a different thing. But then you can say, I choose no longer to study with this teacher. That's a different thing. That's your decision. But then you cannot say, I'm going to hire this teacher. So then Janashruti comes down a rung or two in his ahankara, and then what does he do? He trots off in search of Raikva. He goes everywhere. And then he puts all his treasury on the back of 9 elephants. Imagine what one elephant can carry, multiply that by 9. 9 elephants carrying rich things, jewels, gold coins, all kinds of wealth. 9 elephants, motorcade, elephantcade, okay, came along with him, and that was Guru Dakshina, 9 elephantry, 9 elephant army he took with him, searched high and low, and then found this fellow scratching himself, found the Guru scratching himself under the chariot. We have to give Janashruti the credit he deserves, because he was totally unfazed. He didn't say, oh my God, I am a king and this is going to be my teacher. I'm out of here. No, I want a good looking teacher. I want a teacher who sits properly. Who is this person sitting under a broken down chariot? I'm not going to learn from him. No. Janashruti does namaskara and humbly asks for the knowledge. And then Raikva says that the knowledge can only begin when all your elephants are sent back to the palace, because this is of no use to me. So that is how the teaching in this section takes place. And then before this Raikva is found, this sentence is uttered by the people in the forest and other sadhus and all. So we will see the example later. So Yatkincha prajaha let's go from here first. So Yatkincha prajaha sadhu kurvanti. Sadhu is here neuter sadhu. So here sadhu, undeclinable sadhu. So sadhu kurvanti, whatever the people do, whenever the people do good, whatever the people do good, all the punya the people do goes to who? Raikva. That's not fair. It's my punya. And who is this Raikva? A knowledgeable person, Atmagyani. Does the Atmagyani want punya? No. But still it goes to this him or her. What kind of a thing is this? All my punya goes to the Jnani. Why? Because the Jnani will just give it back to you. Doesn't want it. But the idea is that it is this all-knowing self. The all-knowing self is being talked about here. Atmajnanam and the Jnana Phala is talking about here. Yas tad Veda, Yat sa Veda. So all the punyas that the people, Praja does, that the phala of that is goes to the person who knows what Raikva knows. So what does Raikva know? I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, Raikva knows. So if anyone else also knows what Raikva knows, all the punya of all the people, this person enjoys. Why? Because they don't need anything. That is the whole idea of enjoyment, is you don't need anything to be and to discover in yourself the enjoyable I. So to illustrate how come all the things that the person, all the punyas of all the people goes to this person who knows everything, who knows what Raikva knows. To illustrate this, a game of dice is talked about in a very empirical example. Where do we see the game of dice? Mahabharata, the famous dice that were loaded by Mama, who had done, why Mama? double MA he had done in manipulation, psychological manipulation and trickery. So Mama means uncle. So the uncle who had done a double degree in how to trick everybody out of whatever they need and whatever they want. This is the person that is being talked about here. And this Shakuni, what did he do? Loaded the dice. So the dice in those days, now what is the last number you can have? 6. In those days only 4. And they were named after the yugas. Yeah. Krita, 4. Okay. And then the Treta, 3. Dwapara, 2. Kali, 1. Kali is as good as 0. So if you get Kali, you lose. If you get Krita, you are the winner. So if you throw the dice, that's why the Pandavas lost, because whenever the Kauravas threw it, it came to 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. When they threw it, they kept getting Kali, Kali, Kali. That's how they lost, because it was manipulated dice. So now, let's say you take the dice, the ancient dice, and you throw it. They were long pieces of dice, so you throw it like that, and you get the number 4. Yay, I won, you say. So now, the Upanishad is asking us, when you get the number 4, aren't the 1, 2 and 3 included or not? Yeah, please don't hesitate, because what happens? How are you the winner? Because you have got 1, 2 and 3, and then that is why you have 4. So similarly, all the punyas of all the people goes to the one who has what is, very beautiful example, what is indicated, lakshyartha, what is lakshita, what is lakshya by number 4. What is number 4? Go deeper. Yeah. Turiya avastha. Turiya, not even avastha. So Jagrat, 1. Jagrat means what? I'm glad you are awake, okay? Yeah, that's why I said Jagrat, yes, waking, and then Swapna, dream, 2, and then Sushupti, 3. Hopefully nobody is in that state today. And then, what is the 4th one? Turiya. Is it really the 4th one? No. It is not the 4th one. In fact, you will see that in the Mandukya Upanishad. You will see that. It is not the 4th. It is that because of which 1, 2 and 3 are 1, 2 and 3. That because of which 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 3. It is that which informs and inheres all the 3 states without it being a separate state. If Turiya were a separate state, then how do you get there? Nobody knows how to get there. And once you go there, you are stuck there. How do you come back? You don't know how to come back. Why? Because you are Turiya all the time. Even now you are Turiya. When you understand the waking state, when you are able to falsify the waking state, even as you are in it, you are able to falsify the dream and the sleep states also. In the wake of this knowledge, you understand you are the truth of the waker, dreamer and sleeper. Waker is you, dreamer is you, sleeper is you, but you are not any one of them. That is why you are Turiya. Turiya stands for Chaturiya. 4th, why? Because we are in that small bala state. We don't know. We count 1, 2, 3. So very nice example. So the one who gets all 4. The one who understands what is Turiya has won, as it were, the one over the constraints and the limitations of the Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti states. And similarly, the winner in the dice game, when they get 4, they have conquered all 3 or not? Yeah. So similarly, when all the sadhus know what Raikva knows, then they have conquered everything. They have transcended. Conquered is not a correct word. Transcended. Waker, dreamer, sleeper, because they are awake to the truth of the waker, dreamer, sleeper, when? All the time. What an example. That's why I said you have to sit up when Adi Shankara gives an example. Amazing example. When you go deep into it, you see that number 4 and the quotation here is not accidental at all. Okay, and so then that is And that is the example. And then what? Oh, it's over already. So sad. Okay. Yeah, I was enjoying the Bhashya. Okay. Tadetad vishishtam jnanam tarhi kena prapyate iti uchyate. So now this jnanam has been extolled, and it has been told that compared to all the silly little disciplines which seem silly in the wake of this knowledge, but which are important until and unless you gain this knowledge, which are the bridge to this knowledge, and then after you climb over, let the ladder fall down. You don't take the ladder to be the destination. And so those that have fallen away, and how does one gain this knowledge? That becomes a important question. So now there is one more important verse. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshinaha. Tadvidhi. Tad always stands for Brahma. Jnanam, Brahma Jnanam. Tvam vidhi. This is a command. So with in Lot Madhyama Purusha, it is directed towards you. You better know this. It's an order. So tad vidhi. Okay, I'll know this. What should I do? What should I do? Fall down properly. What? Fall down? I want to lift myself up. No, pranipata literally means to fall down properly. Where should I fall down? In front of the teacher. That is the idea. Pranipata means sashtanga namaskara. Various kinds of namaskaras are there. And you go to certain countries like Japan and all that, like how to bow, whom to bow to, how much to bow. There are all rules about this. Yes, very, very mindful culture. And so here, pranipata means there is a particular kind of namaskara called pranipata, sashtanga namaskara. And where 8 parts of the body touch what? The floor. What are the 8 parts? Padbhyam. Padbhyam means what? Hands. Feet. Okay. All right. Karabhyam. Hands. Then Shirasa. Head. Urasa. Chest. Drisha. Through the trunk of the body. And then how many is that? 6. 6? Yeah. Trunk of the body, hands, feet, head, chest. What am I missing? Yeah. Huh? Ears, no. Ears means I'll be doing sideways namaskar. I'll be lying down in front of the teacher. Nose is not counted. But there is 2 more which I remember, which are what? Which is Janobhyam, correct. Knees. Yeah, these are the body parts, and then we have the mind. So we have the mind and speech, that comes last. Okay, that is 8-fold, what is that? Namaskara. Means it's not that I perfect falling down on the floor, but then I say, I am just doing this because the Shruti says to do this. I don't feel like doing namaskara to you. That is what, there is no mind involved in it. So the mind is involved, the speech is involved. This is called prahvi bhava. Prahvi bhava means that which is there in the heart, or even if it's not in the heart, the bhavana, the feeling in the heart is actually enacted. What is the prahvi bhava? A bending feeling. A bending feeling in the heart, meaning I don't know this. I really, really want to know this, and you know this. Therefore, I am humbly asking for this knowledge, and that humility, that prahvi bhava, it's not enough to have in the heart. It has to be enacted. For who? for yourself, not for the teacher. In fact, the best altar of surrender is the one who does not need it at all. That is the teacher, true teacher of Brahma Vidya is not needing. That is when it is easy to surrender. That is when it is safe to surrender, because that person is not needing that surrender. That's when it becomes safe. So therefore, here the namaskara is emphasized, because that is, the teacher should be proper, but you should be proper first. You have to have the proper attitude to come to the teacher and ask for the knowledge, and so the pranipata becomes the first order of things needing to be done. So, just like in an interpersonal relationship, you have a friend, you have a sibling, you have somebody in your life who is special. And then what happens? Their birthday comes. What do? Nothing. And they are waiting all day long. At least one wish, at least a flower, even plucked from the temple. Or, when nobody was looking, even taken from the temple. At least a flower, at least a wish, at least a hello, it is your special day. Nothing, forget cake, gifts, nothing has come. And then because you feel close to them, you confront them. Hey, you didn't know it was my birthday, you forgot? No, I remembered. Why you didn't wish? All my love is in my heart. What use is that? What use is that kind of a love when it is not enacted? How do you know? Can you just, at least this one, what is that? Hanumanji has one up over us, because he can go like this. He can go like this and show Rama sitting there, Sita sitting there. You cannot do that and still be alive. You cannot do that. So therefore, how is anybody going to know what is in your heart? In my heart is overflowing with Shraddha for the teacher and the Guru and everything, but I'm a private person, so there is no need to show it. This doesn't work. The teacher doesn't need your surrender, should not need your surrender. Actually, I should say it like that. The surrender is for you to enact that surrender, is to enact the Shraddha. To enact the Shraddha is to cultivate the Shraddha, to know that there is something I don't know and I need to know. And so the enactment of the namaskara is from the standpoint of the one who is a jignasu, to the repository of the knowledge. The teacher is seen as the repository of the knowledge, and therefore to that the teacher is not a personality. The teacher is person, Purusha. Who are you? Purusha, person. Therefore we don't focus on the personality of the teacher. If you start focusing on the personality of the teacher, namaskara becomes very difficult. Very difficult, because you see them as one more human being. You have ragadveshas, and the teacher also you see having ragadveshas. And so then you say, oh, this person is just like me. They also have ragadveshas. You don't see that they have worked a lot to understand and overcome the ragadveshas. You don't see that. And so therefore, this has to be taken care of right at the start. Is that I train myself to transcend the personality of the teacher and connect to the person who is the truth of me, who is the truth of the teacher. So therefore, pranipata means proper attitude. That which is symbolized by pranipata is the enactment of the Shraddha. And if the Shraddha is not enough to be enacted, is not there in enough measure to be enacted, the enactment brings in the Shraddha. It is very beautiful. The enactment brings in the Shraddha. This is called pranipata. Pariprashna. Pariprashna means not asking questions, but not useless questions. Useless questions, let's discuss the weather, let's discuss all these things. Because I would see this in Pujya Swamiji's time. Lots of people used to come to him. Some people would just come to discuss the weather, and he would happily discuss the weather with them. Yes, it's changing, so hot, so cold, people are falling sick, yes. He would also say a few things about that. And some people would come knowing that he was fond of cricket, so they would try to connect with his, desire for cricket. It was not really a desire, it is a burnt up desire, like the newspaper, which is burnt, but you can still read the headlines. It was like that for him. He was not addicted to cricket, it was just something that he enjoyed. And so they would discuss cricket. Oh, this one is a great bowler, this one is a wonderful batsman, oh, look at this, look at that. He would also discuss and go into the innards of the entire game. And some people would say, Swamiji, the stock market is very difficult, what to do? Yeah, sell, buy. He would sound like a stockbroker. Without being either a cricket commentator or a stockbroker or the meteorologist. He was none of them, but he would sound like all of them. Why? Because that is what people wanted from him. He doesn't have any agenda with regard to the people. You get what you want from the Jnani. So the people who wanted cricket knowledge got cricket knowledge. Those who wanted to discuss the weather felt good discussing the weather. And then those who wanted stock market advice got very sound stock market advice, because sometimes he would say, show me your horoscope, let's see what you should do right now. And then he would tell. And so, but then those who wanted Atmajnanam only would get Atmajnanam. So therefore, what you invoke in the teacher is what you get. That is the idea. So pariprashna, the second one here, means ask the proper kind of questions. Anatma, if you discuss, the teacher will happily discuss Anatma till the cows come home. But that is a waste of the teacher, in my opinion. So the teacher has to be used by discussing what? Atma. This is pranipata. Questions will be there. This is not a hook, line, sinker. You just swallow everything. You swallow a pumpkin. Aham Brahmasmi is the pumpkin. Swallow it. Believe it. No, you can't believe it. It is something to be understood. And in the process of understanding, there is shanka, there is doubt, there is despair, there is all kinds of notions, oppositional understandings, ideas, or some of them have to be given up, some of them have to be seen in the proper light and then dismissed. And so questions will come. But the pariprashna, what kind of pariprashna? Pariprashna which is pranipata purassaraha, that which is preceded by pranipata, that which is preceded by a desire to know. So it is not the questions are not trying to talk about mundane things or trying to test the knowledge of the teacher. What is said in page 78 of Kathopanishad Bhashya? Come on, tell. That's not the kind of question to ask. So, pariprashna means asking questions that are purposeful and meaningful. And then what else is the last one? Sevaya, vermicelli, correct? Yeah, no. Yeah, sevaya, through seva feminine, sevaya, through seva. Again, the teacher does not require seva. Who is the seva for? Oneself. The seva is for the student. The seva is not for the teacher. And through the seva, ragadvesha, kshaya takes place. And I'm able to appreciate this knowledge even more. Because there is a clearance. And the seva, Guru seva is Gurukula seva. It's all the same. Because everybody cannot do Guru Seva. Imagine, so each time there are about 50-60 people and everybody wants to massage the feet of the Guru. Then what will happen to poor Guru? Yeah. So therefore, Gurukula, anything connected to the teacher is what? Guru Seva alone. So pariprashnena sevaya. If this is your attitude, then upadekshanti evate. They will definitely teach you. Why? Because you have the correct attitude. Who are they? Jnaninaha. The people who know. So, people who know are called Jnanins. They know. And then, they know means what? How did they know? They knew from their teacher. How did they know from their teacher? Pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. How did their teacher know? From his teacher. How did his teacher know? Pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. How did her teacher know? Pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Same thing. Same thing. It's not anything new. That which has worked is what is going to work now also. Why? Because that time it was a different yuga, different teacher, different students. Now I have a new methodology. No. Human beings are always the same. Ajnanam is always the same. A human being, what is that? Afflicted by ajnanam, always the same. Doesn't matter which yuga, which country, which gender, which color of skin, which religion, nothing matters. Ajnanam sits sideways in every head and wants to be gone. And so the desire for it to be gone makes us have the correct attitude, and then we go to our teachers with this kind of an attitude. And we think in the beginning, we have Shraddha, yes, we have Shraddha. And then after that, what happens? Then we say, oh, I thought I had Shraddha, look at me, look at what all the things I would say to I think like this sometimes. Because before, when I first went to Pujya Swamiji, I would say many things that later on I wouldn't even dream of saying. Yeah, later on I could not even dream of saying that. Why? Because one grows to understand how to connect. One grows. And so therefore, the Shraddha is work in progress. Pranipata is work in progress. Pariprashna is work in progress. Seva is also, the spirit of the Seva is definitely work in progress. So we don't feel bad if we don't get it right the first time, or the second time, or the 100th time, doesn't matter. We keep at it until we know. So these are the Jnanins, the one who are Shrotriyas. Jnanins, and then Tattvadarshinaha Brahmanishtaha. Brahmanishtaha means they don't have any other occupation than, any other commitment than Brahman. They don't have any other commitment than Brahman. That is very difficult to see. You can't go inside their head and, put a scope and see what thoughts they have. You can't do that. Are they thinking of Brahman or are they thinking of Laddu? You can't find out. So therefore, what to do? Best to go with the Shrotriya. The Shrotriya will never lead you astray. The Shrotriya may himself or herself still be in the process of knowing, but still they will be authentic to the teaching. How they received, they will give. They may say it in third person. They may say, the Kathopanishad says that you are Brahman. They may say that. But still that is the truth. That is really the truth. And so, therefore, if we cannot, since only one Brahmajnani can recognize another Brahmajnani, what do we need to do? Choose the teacher who is Shrotriya. There are many, many, many teachers. What do they say? Sometimes in the world at large, this knowledge I gained apne aap. Apne aap means what? By myself. They take pride in that. Suddenly I woke up and I was enlightened. And they celebrate also, or their Shishyas celebrate Enlightenment Day. Means you are declaring to the world, yesterday I was Ajnani, today I am Jnani. How does that happen? But that's how they think it happens. And then so, what do you do when you meet such a person who says, I know everything, even you people need teachers. I don't need any teacher, I didn't need any teacher, I know this all by myself. You do namaskar to the person, no harm, and then you do namaskar and say, you please keep this knowledge with you, safe. Do not, under any circumstances, give it to me. And you back off slowly. That's what you have to do. Keep it with yourself. Apne aap you got, you keep it with yourself. This is not how the Kumbh Mela works. This orange festival, which happens whenever the Jupiter is in Leo or is aspected by Leo in some ways. We have half Kumbh Mela. Half Kumbh Mela is not half orange, it's still fully orange. It's still an orange fest, but the half is because the aspect of the Jupiter, how it aspects. So half Kumbh Mela, full Kumbh Mela, and then it's all this big cities, springs up, complete with what's that? Tents. What kind of tents? It's not camping, it's glamping. You know the meaning of glamping? Glamorous camping is glamping. Yes. The tent will have chandeliers. The tent will have attached baths, nice things. You feel like you're in a hotel. And then all these things, and then what do you do there? You just go visit other people. You take bath in the waters where the rivers meet, and you go take bath there, and all these things. It's a big thing. The UNESCO sent people to find out how this city miraculously comes up and then miraculously is dismantled. They sent people to study this. And so in this kind of a city, you go greet the superiors, the big heads of akhadas, means various sampradayas. That didn't help. Akhada is equal to sampradaya, is equal to what? Lineages. Big heads of lineages, you go greet, and then you do namaskar to them, and then they don't say what is your name. They are least bothered what is your name. What will they say? Who was your teacher? Who is your teacher? They're not interested in your name. And if you say, I got all this apne aap, they just look at each other silently. Yeah. And suddenly that person will find out in their fantastic tent hall, nobody comes to greet them. Hardly any people are there. So this is a very important verse, very important to internalize the meaning of it, so that we know we are conveying ourselves well, we are conducting ourselves well, so that there is no pratibandha, obstacle for the knowledge. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.